mean, it makes it real. It makes it super real. It makes it war. And it makes it, he's a killer too.
Mike Tyson has sent a new warning to Jake Paul, showing how ruthless he is going to get in their fight. Moreover, boxer Amir Khan has warned Jake that Mike could hurt him badly in their upcoming fight. He believes that despite Tyson being 58 years old on fight night, and having not fought professionally since 2005, he still possesses the knockout power to potentially defeat Jake. Cage said no one would have ever expected a fight like that fight to be made. Mike Tyson is a legend of the game, and not someone who you want to mess about with, even though he's older now, and has been retired for a long time. He has obviously done a few exhibitions. KH expressed his genuine bewilderment regarding Jake Paul's decision to fight Mike Tyson, stating that confronting a heavyweight legend appears to be a risky choice. He voiced concern that Jake might face severe consequences, while also suggesting that the situation might be a publicity stunt orchestrated by both Tyson and Paul. KH added, "I'm truly baffled by Jake Paul's decision-making here. Going up against a heavyweight legend seems like a recipe for disaster, and I fear he's in for a world of hurt. Is this all just for show?" With Mike and Jake drumming up hype simultaneously. Moreover, Amir Khan admitted feeling surreal about the situation, and sincerely hoped that Tyson wouldn't inflict serious harm on Paul. Despite harboring a fondness for Paul, he emphasized that engaging in an exhibition match with someone as skilled as Tyson was unwise. He said it feels surreal, and I genuinely hope Mike doesn't end up causing serious harm to Jake. I've got a soft spot for Jake, but tangling with someone of Mike's caliber in an exhibition is not a wise move. KH further remarked on the significant size and weight difference between the two fighters, expressing uncertainty about the outcome of the fight. He questioned the likelihood of the event taking place, expressing astonishment and shock. However, Amir Khan predicted a victory for Mike Tyson by knockout, citing Tyson's continued danger despite his age. According to KH, especially when you're a lot smaller and lighter, I don't know how this fight is going to go. Is it really going to happen? It amazes me, and I am shocked I've got Mike Tyson winning by knockout. Even though he's in his 50s, he's still a dangerous guy not to be messed with in their upcoming bout. Tyson and Paul are opting for 14-0 gloves sans headgear, set for an 8-round showdown. With each round spanning 2 minutes, Paul aims to bolster his professional tally to 10 victories against a formidable opponent in Tyson, whose illustrious career culminated at 50 wins, 6 losses, and 2 no contests. Tyson's commitment to his upcoming bout is evident, as he's decided to forgo both romantic activity and substance consumption for a rigorous 6-week training regimen. Fans are thoroughly convinced that he's prioritizing his preparation with utmost seriousness. In probably 6 weeks, I haven't gone high or had. It's just discipline. It's doing what you hate to do, but doing it like I love it," Tyson told Forbes. Tyson has been absent from the professional ring since his unexpected retirement on the stool during his match with journeyman Kevin McBride nearly 20 years ago. However, he did engage in an uninspiring exhibition bout against fellow legend Roy Jones Jr. 4 years back, going the distance for 8 rounds. Despite the lackluster performance, Jones expresses certainty that Tyson could defeat Paul provided he commits to proper training. Jones told Shane Mosley Jake is not going to fight in close, and Jake can't stay away from him because Mike is going to close the gap real quick. I thought I could stay away from him, and I couldn't stay away from him. I know that I'm better at staying away from people than Jake is. That's why Jake put the on." Moreover, Jones commented that Jake acknowledges his inability to avoid Mike Tyson's advances and is banking on his increased muscle mass to provide some defense by pushing Tyson backward. However, Jones observed that Tyson is also bulking up, aiming to counter Jake's strategy by clinching and pushing him back immediately upon getting close. Jones further noted that Jake's fighting prowess is not as effective when retreating compared to when he's advancing. He added, "Jake knows he isn't going to be able to stay away from Mike. He is hoping that a bit of muscle will push him backward and keep him off him. Mike is getting big enough to try and tie him up when he gets close and push him back right away. Jake doesn't fight as well as going backward as he does coming forward." Meanwhile, NFL sensation Patrick Mahomes has weighed in, suggesting that the problem child has a singular path to victory in this monumental bout. In a recent episode of the Impulsive podcast, the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs shared his thoughts on the match between the younger Paul brother and Iron Mike. He suggested that for Jake Paul to stand a chance against the seasoned fighter, he would need to extend the fight into the later rounds. Expanding on his point, he emphasized the importance of endurance and strategy in overcoming such a formidable opponent. Mahomes expressed fear regarding Mike Tyson, suggesting that if Jake manages to prolong the fight, he might have a chance of winning. However, Mahomes cautioned that if Jake were to receive a significant blow, it could lead to unfavorable consequences for him.
You follow a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you think happens if the clash of two titans, like, I don't know, make something up, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson were to happen?
I think if I'm scared of Mike Tyson, so I think if Jake can make the fight last for a little bit longer, he's going to win. But if he gets hit the wrong way, it will not be good for him.
I think that's a very
During the midst of training camp, Mahomes hinted that despite his obligations, he might entertain the idea of making a quick trip to Texas to witness the event firsthand. Tyson stands tall in the pantheon of heavyweight boxing legends. His prowess into the annals of the sport's history in the midst of it all, despite his moniker as the problem child, Jake lacks encounters with top-tier competitors, unlike his current adversary. Meanwhile, here is what I show speed. And Logan Paul said about Mahomes' analysis of the fight.
You follow a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you think happens if a clash of two titans, like, I don't know, make something up, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson were to happen?
I think if I'm scared of Mike Tyson, so I think if Jake can make the fight last for a little bit longer, he's going to win. But if he gets hit the wrong way, it will not be good for him.
I think that's a very.
It's not a bad predicament, actually. You know what? That was the best. What is it? What kind of question? Was it?
Neutral. It's PR trained. He's PR.
No,
trained.
not bullshit. That's like the best answer he had when it comes to sports.
Diplomatic.
No, not even. I think he just means the best. Like, because your answer is a word for word his thoughts.
Yeah.
Like he's like, dude, if Jake drags Tyson out into the water, like, it's over.
Yeah.
Tyson.
I think if he stays alive for 2 rounds, he's gonna.
Yeah,
do it.
he's.
I kind of agree with Patrick, actually. Yeah, I agree.
I think it also just got sanctioned as a pro fight, which is cool.
That's really cool. It's in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
It's in Dallas. But I think it's when I'm at training camp, unfortunately.
July 20th.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, quick night, quick jet.
One
You
night
could
out.
take a
It is
jet.
a quick. Don't tell Coach. No one tell Coach Reed.
Row C.
You don't have to go out with Travis.
On the other hand, Conor McGregor expresses his contentment over the remarkable triumphs attained by social media sensations such as Jake Paul within the boxing realm. However, the Irish fighter holds firm in his belief that the burgeoning culture of celebrity boxing sets a detrimental precedent for budding fighters striving to make their mark in the sport. In a conversation with English TV host James Corden, the Notorious discussed the much-anticipated showdown.
We just got announced, Mike Tyson's going to fight Jake Paul. Is this a world that you would
For
step
sure,
into?
yeah.
Right.
Well, look, we kick-started that. It was the first crossover event in combat
you
sport.
fought Floyd, right?
When I fought
Yes.
Floyd, it was kind of the opening of that.
There's more people watching
Yeah,
boxing
yeah,
now than
yeah,
were
yeah.
5 years ago, and I think these guys are a big part of that.
Oh, for sure, hustlers, and they played a great game. But for me, it does set a bad precedent in the industry.
Conor McGregor voiced his concerns about the trend of celebrity boxing matches, particularly referencing events like Tyson versus Paul. McGregor expressed his apprehensions about the impact these fights may have on aspiring athletes. In his statement, McGregor emphasized the importance of aspiring athletes aiming for traditional achievements in combat sports, such as world titles and Olympic medals. He urged young athletes not to view celebrity boxing matches as the pinnacle of success, emphasizing that true recognition and legacy are achieved through traditional avenues.
Because what you've got now is, and I'll say this to the young athletes coming up, men and women, don't aspire to be, one of these like YouTuber fighters.
Right.
And
That's
aspire
interesting.
for world titles. Aspire for Olympic. That is how you rise. That is how forever. That is how you etch your name in history. Doing these little smash and grab fights, you might get a few likes, but it's not. There's nothing substantial to it. It's hollow.